Hello and welcome to Possession Football. We have another UEFA Euro 2020 preview. Today we'll be looking at Group C's final team, North Macedonia. North Macedonia failed to qualify for the 2018 FIFA World Cup, but did win their UEFA Nations League group ahead of Armenia, Gibraltar and Liechtenstein getting promoted. They were third in qualifying Group G behind Poland and Austria, but ahead of Slovenia, Israel and Latvia. But they did qualify through playoff path D, beating Kosovo and Georgia. In their second Nations League group, they came second, behind Armenia, but ahead of Georgia and Estonia. They've started FIFA World Cup qualifying with 2 wins and 1 loss, one of those wins coming away to Germany. They had 2 friendlies to prepare at home to Slovenia and Kazakhstan, and they're in Group C with the Netherlands in Amsterdam, Ukraine and Austria in Bucharest. So let's have a look at the qualifying results then. In that Group G, started well with a win at home to Latvia, and then an away draw to Slovenia, not the worst result, but then losing 2 in a row at home to Poland and 4-1 to Austria, a draw away to Israel, losing momentum for that 2-0 win. Did win the next 2 games in a row against Latvia and Slovenia, but then 2-0 losses against Poland and Austria sealed their fate, even with a loss win against Israel. However, through the Nations League, they qualified for the playoffs, and they did get through, beating Kosovo 2-1, and then a goal in Goran Pandev, probably the most famous in North Macedonian football history, to send them to the Euros to beat Georgia. The manager is Igor Angelovski, who had a respectable playing career, and then took his first job in charge of Robotnici in 2013. He won a league and 2 cups there. In 2015, he left to become the assistant manager of what was then the FYR Macedonia team, but when the manager left to join Partizan Belgrade, he got given the main job, so became manager later in 2015. As a player, he won 1 Macedonian Cup and was runner-up in it once. And at Robotnici, he won 2 Macedonian Cups and 1 Macedonian League title. He has now picked his 26-man squad for the final tournament, starting with 3 goalkeepers. Stol Dimitrievski is first choice for both club and country, and should be the first name on the team sheet in the finals. Risto Yankov is a young goalie, only 22, yet to be capped, but he does join the squad as third choice goalie to gain experience for the future. Damian Isovsky is number 2 for his country, and he's deputised when Dimitrievski has been unavailable. We now have a look at the defenders. 7 players listed as defenders, starting with Egzjan Alioski. He's a left-back, a regular starter for his club and country. Can also play on the left midfield, depending on the formation. Egzon Baitalai is a centre-back. He actually captains the North Macedonian champions, Skandija, and he can also play at right-back or right midfield if the formation requires. Visar Musliu, who plays for Fehervar in Hungary, is among the first names of the team sheet at centre-back and should be starting at the final tournament as well. Kire Ristevskis is another centre-back. He's ahead of Baitalai in the pecking order. Just about, I think, but it should be a close one. Stefan Ristovski is a right-back. He's a rotation player for his club, but he is a regular starter for his country, depending on the formation. He can also play centre-back. Darko Velkovsky is another centre-back. Might just miss out on a starting place. It will be close, though. Gyoko Zykov is another centre-back. He hasn't played a minute of club football all season, and thus won't get in the starting 11. Next up, the midfielders. There are 9 of those. Arian Ademi is a defensive midfielder. He's sort of one of the ones where it's close whether he'll start. I think he has a good chance of starting, though. Somebody who is pretty much guaranteed to start is Enis Bardi. He's an actual left winger, but I think he'll be used in a central midfield role at the finals. Darko Churlinov is another left winger, and he's had pretty irregular game time this season and thus isn't a starter for his country. Elif Elmas of Napoli, he's pretty much exclusively a substitute for his club, but as a central midfielder or attacking midfielder, he's a starting player for his country. Ferhan Hassani is another attacking midfielder, but he's only had 1 start all season in Albania and it's thus only a backup for his country. Tihomir Kostadinov is another attacking midfielder. He can play anywhere in the middle of the park, but a spot in the starting 11 may be hard to come by. Boban Nikolov from Lecce is another central midfielder. He has just 3 starts in Serie B since transferring to Lecce in the winter, and thus he's going to find a place in the starting 11 pretty hard to come by. Milan Ristovski is a striker who receives his first call-up. He's not going to start. It's unclear why he's listed as a midfielder exactly. Stefan Spirovsky is another defensive midfielder. He'll be a backup for his country at the Euros. Well, we have 7 forwards, starting with Daniel Avramovsky, an attacking midfielder who seems to be listed as a forward because he can also play second striker. It doesn't really matter because he's going to be on the bench. Goran Pandev, the man who scored the goal that took them to the finals, the man who got his first cap in 2001. Pandev his natural position is second striker, but he's the main man for his country. He'll start up top at the Euros as captain as well. Vlatko Stoyanovski is another striker. He has just 6 starts all season for his club, although he did miss some of that with injury. He is a backup for his country. Alexander Traikovsky is a left winger who has 4 starts all season. He's not a regular starter for his country, but still expected to make an impact off the bench. Ivan Trichkovsky is Pandev's main strike partner, a centre forward. He has 16 goals this season in Cyprus, and he's likely to start for his country. Kirsta Velkovsky is another second striker. For his country, he's a backup. Now, Angelovski likes changing the formation. He's experimented with a back 5, a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3. The most common pick, though, is a 3-1-4-2. I think that's what they'll go with. My predicted 11 is Dmitrievski in goal, a back 3 of Betelai, Musliu and Ristevski. Ademi in the engine room. Stefan Ristovski, Elmas, Bardi and Alioski in that midfield. Pandev and Trichkovsky as the front 2. Now, North Macedonia played their first pre-UEFA Euro 2020 friendly at the National Arena Todor Proeski in Skopje, at home to Slovenia. The referee was Besfort Kasumi of Kosovo. It was listed as a 3-4-1-2. I think the wing-backs are a bit back, so it should count as a 5-2-1-2. Dmitrievski in goal. Stefan Ristovski, Betelai, Darko Velkovsky, Muliu and Alioski, the back 5. Nikolov and Ademi behind Elmas in midfield, a front 2 of Traikovsky and Captain Pandev. As for Slovenia, there are 2 names that will strike out at you, one of them being Captain Oblak, Stojanovic, Stankovic, Mevuljur and Balkovic back 4, Ilicic, the other big name, joining Stulac, Kurtic and Lovric in midfield, Spora and Malakar, the front 2. Now, the game started in not the best way because Balkovic pulled his hamstring and had to be replaced by Jurkovic after just 4 minutes. There were 2 yellow cards before the break, both full fouls on Ilicic from Musliu and Alioski. At half-time, just a 1 change, Jan Oblak being replaced by Belek in goal. Stulac got booked for a foul on Traikovsky, but the breakthrough did come, a lovely volley by Elmas to make it 1-0. 2 more subs for North Macedonia after that, Kostadinov and Trichkovsky on for Nikolov and Traikovsky, while Slovenia brought on Cernigoy, Sheshko and Birol for Ilicic, Spora and Lovric. Avramovsky and Ristevski came on for Pandev and Betelai. Kostadinov was booked for a foul on Mlakar. Bohar then came on for Mlakar, and then Hassani and Chelenov for Elmas and Ademi. Kurtic's yellow card came just before the end, but in the 7th minute of additional time, a cross went deep and it fell to Cernigoy, who scored for 1-1. North Macedonia would have hoped for more against a team that didn't qualify and were punished for not killing the game off, but there were still positive signs ahead of the finals, and if they were a bit less wasteful, they would have won. North Macedonia's final friendly came at home to Kazakhstan at the same stadium. And here they played their signature 3-1-4-2. Dmitrievski in goal, Stefan Ristovski, Musliu and Ristevski, the back 3. Spirovsky behind Nikolov, Kostadinov, Elmas, and Alioski in midfield. Trichkovsky and Captain Pandev, the front two. For Kazakhstan, not too many big names, but Pokatilov in goal in their 5-3-2. Tapalov, Marochkin, Mali, Besebikov, and Vailulin, the back five. Muzhikov, Tagibergen, and Kuat, the midfield three. Captain Nagaliev and Shekhin, the strike partnership. The yellow card for Tapalov came for a foul on Elmas, and it was Tapalov who tripped. It was Elmas who got tripped by Besebikov for a penalty, which Aliovsky made no mistake. The red card was for an absolute horror challenge by Muzhikov. I don't know what he was doing, but high on Rostevsky, straight red. Three changes at half-time, all for Kazakhstan. Saysen, Siyimbayev and Murtazayev on for Pokatilov, Vailulin and Shekhin. Kostadinov with an unselfish assist that gave Trichkovsky an easy goal. Then the first North Macedonian subs, Avramovsky and Ristovsky coming on for Hagen and Trichkovsky. Then some more subs for Kazakhstan, Beytana and Kasim on for Nurgaliev and Besebikov, as well as Tchaikovsky and Cherlinov on for Elmas and Kostadinov for North Macedonia. And Milan Ristovsky would get his goal, just a corner headed home off the bench. And then a great sliding tackle by Cherlinov, like a slide tackle shot almost, made it 4. And then late subs for both teams, Beitalai and Velkovsky on for Stefan Ristovsky and Nikolov, and then for Kazakhstan, Gabishev on for Tapalov, but it didn't change anything. So yeah, North Macedonia dominating the match. There's only positives from that. Easy win. I know it's against Tidman Kazakhstan, and you would have to ask whether this is a good enough preparation for 3 decent teams in the group. But I think they'll be happy with the result and the way they got forward. But it's certainly a different challenge in June. Now, they are in a tough group, but listen, in football, especially with the format of this, it's not out of the question they get out of the group at all, to be honest. One team just failing to perform in their group, they get a good result, and maybe a draw elsewhere. That's all they need, so don't count it out. And then, once you're in the knockout stages, who knows what can happen. So, even though they'll find it difficult, and I think they will go out in the group, don't count out the possibility that they go forward, because it's not that unlikely. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. We have previews of all other teams in Group C as well. And I hope to see you for the next video. The next preview will be of England. Hopefully when all the confusion about Copa America is sorted out, we'll have videos on that too. But for now, I'll say goodbye.